Hey, what's up everyone? Igor from the Better Life Academy here. And we just got off the beach, wonderful weather here in South Carolina, and I wanted to share with you another piece of wisdom, another nugget which you might use in your life, and it can help you to actually interact with people, to establish better and tighter and smoother relationships with anyone you're actually communicating with. And I learned it at some point of my life, and it's like completely changed the way I communicate with people, completely changed the way I react to people's reactions, to people emotions, to people conversations towards me. And I will give you a couple of examples. You've probably been in situations where you talk to the person and then the person starts to be basically rude with you, maybe a little bit aggressive, and get on an offense with you, right? And our natural reaction, by the way, is to get on offense and also get back the same way at that person, meaning we're starting to be rude. We might yell at the person, we might raise our voice and kind of show them our disappointment or something like it. What I want to say is that this is our natural reaction, meaning this is our mind letting us to get on the offense. Why is that happening? It's just because I want to remind you, our mind is created and lives with only one thing, and only one thing is to protect us. So whomever start to be aggressive with us and kind of disrespectful a little bit towards us, our natural reaction is what mind actually does with us is just get on him, get on a offense, kick him, be rude with them or something like it, because that way we will protect ourselves. So what I suggest and what I'm talking about today is to remember that thing and don't get on an offense. Even if someone being disrespectful with you. You'll probably ask, well, what do you mean? Should we let anyone and everyone be disrespectful towards us? Obviously not. I'm talking about the first case, when this is the first interaction with the person, or the first case when the person is actually being offensive towards you. You might transform that particular conversation and situation into win-win, because if you're going to get on an offense, it's going to be lose-lose, and you probably don't want any conversation you having with anyone get to the point where it's lose-lose, because you just wasted your time within this conversation with the person, right? You probably don't want to waste your time, you want to invest your time. So in order to invest your time, and is that happening first time with that particular person, this is the first occasion where that person becomes aggressive towards you, I want you to think that way. That person actually needs your help, and that person cannot express themselves differently. They started to be anxious, they started to be stressful, they started to be maybe a little bit offensive, as I said, and aggressive, but the only thing they want is help. But during the conversation, they kind of heat it up themselves, and they cannot snap out of it anymore, and they cannot actually get to the quiet and peaceful conversation with you and get anything what they want to get out of that conversation. So what is happening actually is that they asking you for help. And if you're gonna live with that thought that anyone who actually being aggressive with you in their core, they literally need your help, then you what might do, you might change the conversation and you might start helping them out. You might start asking them questions. What is happening with them? What do they want? What do they want to achieve out of that conversation, and how can you help them? That literally helped me to transform any kind of conversation into the win-win situation, because as soon as you come towards person with understanding and with letting them that you are there for them and you want to help them out, that means you kind of expressing this gratitude, this kindness, this love towards that person. And by the way, the gratitude, kindness and love cannot coexist together with aggressiveness, with stressfulness, with an anxiety. So what you do is you rubbing off on that person your love, your attention, your understanding, and the person snaps out of that state where they mad with you, they angry at you, and they actually getting into that other state which is more pleasant, and they become kind and they become understanding, and they will even apologize for their behavior. I've been in so many different situations like that, where I would just give kindness, I would give understanding, I would give love back on the person who actually might be aggressive to me, might be emotional with me, and that always turned the conversation into win-win. Then the person would apologize, and then we would find the common ground, and I would be able to help the person, and I would be able to understand what the person really need the help with. You know what I'm saying? You probably had so many different situations with your friends, with your clients, where the conversation goes smooth, and then at some point someone just snaps out and start being aggressive and start being stressful and anxious and overwhelmed. And usually that happens because the person feel like they cannot get help. They feel like they're asking you for help, not literally with their words, but their, moves and physiology and everything. On the subconscious level, they feel like they're asking for your help, and you're not giving them the help. You don't understand them, and the mind gets on the offense, and as soon as they get on the fence with you, you get on the fence back at them, and the whole conversation go to the place where you lose, because you are angry at each other, you snap at each other, you stop the conversation, and you leave. You basically separate each other from the conversation. The conversation is ended poorly. Okay, so that is the thing what I wanted to share with you today. Just keep that thought in mind, that whoever talks to you, they probably want you to help them somehow. And if you're gonna look at this from that perspective, you're never gonna get offensive, you're never gonna get mad, you're never gonna get angry in this negative state of yours. You will keep your cool, as they call it, right? And you will be able to help that person, and with that your relationships might get even tighter, and the person next time will behave completely different towards you, with a lot bigger respect, because they will know that you are the person who is ready to help them out, even when they are in a very bad place, very, very bad and negative emotional state. Makes sense? I hope it does. And as I said, I've established so many relationships only based on this understanding and this perception. Sometimes I would communicate with some person whom I don't know, the stranger, and I would help them out when they would be disrespectful towards me, and they would be just amazed, and they would be ashamed of their behavior, because I understand that sometimes we behave ourselves not just intentionally because we want to hurt someone. It's just we behave ourselves out of that offense which coming out of our mind when we are scared, or we're looking for help, a shelter, and someone is not helping us and doesn't give us the shelter. Our mind thinks like we are in the dead end, and when you get into the corner, you trying to get on a fence, you're trying to fight, you're trying to actually kick someone's butt, and if you feel you are against the wall. That's what our mind does with us as soon as we feel like we don't get any help and we are helpless. All right, I think it's enough out of me. Maybe it was not that structure of the conversation, but I'm on the beach, guys. I'm super relaxed right now, but at the same time, I thought I should share this with you, because as I said, that changed my life completely. Because remember, you are the average of all those 5 people you spend the most time with. So we would rather look for those people and make sure you surround yourself with people who actually kind of pull you up, push you up, and actually challenge you all the time. And in order to do that, you gotta learn the communication skills. You gotta learn how to interact with people correctly. And one of the skills and tools which I use is just my perception that anyone who is talking with me one way or another, expecting some kind of help, and my service, my responsibility is to offer them the help. If I offer them help and they still being disrespectful towards me, obviously I'm going to ignore them, and I'm going to distance myself from those people. But initial reaction, initial kind of check-in of mine is that I need to help them. And as soon as I help them, if they change their state and they become more respectful towards me, I know it works, and it works as a charm. Okay, so use it, don't lose it, because if you don't use it, you lose it right away. All right, okay, Igor from the Better Life Academy. Peace out, and have a great day, guys.